pretty good net.
A fresh grouper or not, babe. We don't have an anchor, so we gotta go hook the bottom with a rope. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. It's Speargun with Slurpee. This is Jacob, whatever you guys want. So this is the first gun test for the KOAH KeyWestWaterman collab spear gun that he did of the banana gun. It's a 2.0. So we forgot our anchor today, so this is me diving in, trying to figure out how we can hook onto the bottom without an anchor. That was like a little pole we usually plug in on the sandbar when we're having a good time. So I sacrificed my weight belt, as you can see, and I shoved it up under a rock, and this actually worked the entire day, surprisingly. Every spot we went, I just dove in, found a rock.
Yeah, there's like a 9-inch hogfish swimming around down there.
Alright, here we go. First time with the new gun. So here we are again. That was me just after set the little anchor, and I'm loading up the gun for the first time. Not too hard, you know, going from a 42-inch gun to a 52. The bands were incredibly well made, a lot longer, so it really didn't seem too much difference. But I was kind of nervous how heavy the gun would be underwater, like the difference between out of water and in water, but I really didn't notice enough of a difference. It was more sturdy than anything. So I don't really have any other comments other than it tracks a little differently than the Wong, the 42 Northeaster, but in general, majority of the gun swims up underneath you when I'm swimming, so didn't really feel too clunky. I was kind of worried about that in the dingier water. I didn't really have my GoPro setting too well. You can sort of see it's sort of like really a weird green brightness setting. Didn't have it on my water setting I usually do, but I did notice a couple hogfish were swimming around. GoPro is mounted down a little bit low, kind of messed up there, but you could sort of see them. It was about a, I don't know, maybe 9-inch hogfish. Still have never found a legal hogfish out at St. Mark's, but I see these little guys all the time in this area. And I actually saw two. You'll see in a little bit, but bunch of snappers swimming around. Again, next week, which is September 1st. This is the week before September 1st grouper season opens up, so this is also me just seeing if I can find any groupers. I don't really shoot a whole lot. This is more of a highlight reel. I see a couple big snappers. There's a big one right here in the distance. You can sort of see it right there, right I'm looking at. He only gave me that moment right there, and I never saw him again. So, first time with a new gun, I was like, I'm not shooting this straight down at a rock. You can sort of see there's a rock right there, and there's a sort of a cave that all these snapper are going in. So I knew I had two bands, and a 3-foot, 4-foot shot away was not worth breaking off the tip or denting it and having to resharpen when I get home. So never saw that snapper again. And there's another hogfish right there. I'm pointing for my dad to see. He's swimming with me. Never dive alone. You never know what's going to happen out here. Even if it's 6-7 feet. This is just a remora that kept following us. We actually moved a couple spots, and I don't know if he really followed the boat, but we would move probably a couple hundred yards at a time, and he would always follow us throughout the whole day. It's kind of funny. There's some look downs. Never really see these out here too much either. Because our water is sort of like river and salt. We got the Alcillo River, St. Mark's, and Wakulla River, and then that Apalachicola River is right around the bend. So we get a lot of freshwater stuff. So there's a lot of gar stuff that show up in some of our dives every now and then. So that's why it's amazing. I keep seeing hogfish. You can see them right there again. There's another one camoed right there. Yeah, that was me just pointing the gun up to it, seeing if they will sort of flare up. Never seen two hogfish like that in the same picture. I was like so
First
stoked.
spot only had one good snapper on it and some cool little hogfish. So now we're at the second spot. Still not grouper season. Next weekend's grouper season, so this is more of a trial and look for them for next week.
So here we are again, another spot. Again, it's a highlight reel, so we just keep jumping around spots. We actually only speared about 3 fish today, a snapper, and I think two sheephead. So sorry if this is a boring reel. This is more of just a water test type of day. There's another good snapper right there, just sort of like the last one at the last area, but again, they're swimming right over rocks, and I'm not comfortable shooting this gun quite yet for like those types of shots because it's a new shaft. I'm looking for more of like an open sand water column type of shot. Here's a big stingray, and you'll see a gag swim right in front of right there. He was probably legal. He was probably right at that 24, 25 inch range. So that got me a little excited for the following week. If I could ever find him again. Most likely not, but it was nice to still see grouper in this 6-7 foot shallow water range. Typically they start moving a little bit deeper again. They come up shallow in the summer, which a lot of people don't really believe. I think it typically happens a little bit more in like Clearwater, Florida.
Alright, top 3.
Where you get these shallow water grouper.
Still not getting any luck here with shooting the gun, but that's how it is.
So here again, new spot. Nothing on that last one other than that snapper. Saw that little grouper swim by. Water starts to get a little bit more dingy. You can see my GoPro's having some problems with the imaging. Definitely the 1080p standard rating is not doing well in this water. I needed to have my water settings like 2.6K with some little bit color differences. This little drop, I actually went down. You can see sheephead and some snapper right there. Didn't see anything in front of me, and I decided to turn around, and they're all following me, which happens. And then here, this is that same spot. I dove down again. Found a good little snapper to shoot. There's a little ledge right in front of that little rock where it dropped off into the sand, so they were swimming around there, coming up under. This is about a little, I mean, he was probably about, I wouldn't say he was about a 1 pound snapper, but this is about all we get is little 12-inch snappers. Nothing crazy, but amazing to eat. This is me, like always. Try to brain and bleed. Definitely helps the quality of the meat. Sometimes we don't always have a lot of ice, or the ice melts because we stay out a little bit longer. So it's nice to get some of that blood out of there, and then I take the guts out too. Definitely find a little nice dive knife. Helps. Just watch with, stabbing yourself. Definitely don't want that to happen. So you can see the current's starting to be a little bit more ripping.
Got one on the last spot. Broke her in. Sunday.
I don't know if you guys could notice that, but I do carry a freshwater shower on the boat. Definitely a pro tip, being in salt water all day. They're little like camping showers. Basically, one side is black. If you have that side flipped up, you'll get fresh hot water by the end of the day, or within a couple hours, which is so much more enjoyable than you think, even on a hot day. Getting salt water off with hot fresh water is amazing. This is a piece of prop. This is I wouldn't say a famous area that I find a lot of props, but I see hundreds of boats a year drive through this outside rock. We call it the area is the rock garden, but this one rock goes way farther out than most places do. And I mean, you can see it technically was like a 5-foot spot, and then this is literally like submerged 1 foot. That was my dad trying to spook out somebody's snapper. That was their main hole that some of the groupers even hang out in. I didn't really get a good shot here, but my dad actually spears this sheephead right here, and he doesn't have any gloves, so I go over and help grab him for him. He has like a 1970 gun, which is pretty cool. So he just free shafts with that. You can see that sheephead's giving him some trouble. Definitely have some dive gloves. I got these Bubba. They're like that technically knife gloves, but definitely great in case you get poked by your own knife or even some of these spinier fish. It's not a big sheephead. It's literally things like 12 inches long. You know, legal, but just wanted to get something on film.
Well, all we got on that one was a sheephead. Papa Sloop did it. That was our 5th spot, so it's a very slow day. We're gonna go way over here. There's like a, I don't think it's a spring hole, but it's a hole. And there's usually a big school of snapper around it. So we're gonna go see if we can just pop a few off there, because we only got 2 fish in the boat. The way gas prices are, 2 fish is a very expensive amount. So yeah. The water's a little murky today. It's a lot clearer in the grass spots here, but big storms, so we don't maybe have a whole lot of sun if this thing grows any bigger. Yeah, see you on the water. Here's the hole.
So this is another spot we have deep in the rock garden out of St. Mark's. This place is normally around 1 to 2 foot deep, and this hole is about 8 feet. But right now it's definitely shallow around the outside of it. My dad has a flats boat, so we can get in here, and there's this amazing shelf sometimes that have a ton of snapper. But since the water's been pretty warm, I think most of the snapper have moved off, and we got a bunch of these like little pilot fish swimming around, and there's not really any sizable snappers in here. But it is a cool rock. There's my dad dropping down. down, seeing what he can see at the bottom. And it's nice because, you know, he's got a dive belt, and mine's being used as an anchor, so it's sort of a little harder for me to dive down. I have to like expel all my air just to hold down to the bottom. And as I was swimming away, I noticed to the rock right next, I saw a little fin waving, and I knew it was a sheephead fin, but I didn't want to shoot this double band gun situation. Actually, it's not double band at the moment, but I didn't want to shoot my gun up in there. Rather, my dad shoot his old-timey gun, which doesn't have as much power compared to mine, and try to get this sheephead, but I don't think he quite could see him. I thought it was easily you could just poke in there and shoot him, but you'll see him jarred out real quick. It was a pretty good size one. He was probably like 13, 14, maybe 15 inches. Right there. So, missed that one, never saw him again. But it was pretty cool. Saw a little fin waving. So, they sort of act like groupers sometimes. Or snapper. They hang out way up underneath ledges and hide. That was me looking at these two snapper. I thought I could probably shoot them. But, you know, they're pretty small. I think this is one of our final spots. This spot's pretty cool. Actually, spear sheephead here. There's about 3 or 4 of them. Sorry if my dog's barking. Camera's a little bit out of the water, and there is a nurse shark in this video, but the camera again wasn't that great. And it's very shallow here. I mean, I'm skimming my chest over some of these rocks. You sort of see these sheephead right here. There's 3 of them in the picture. You see that one in the front? I take the front one. And at this moment, my dad says, "Hey, there's a nurse shark over here." As soon as I grab him, you know, try to brain and bleed. Don't like fish to you know, struggle. Like to finish the job off as quickly as I can. So that's me. This is me just swimming over to where my dad said there's a nurse shark. You'll see its tail, but the camera angle wasn't that great. Which I've never seen a nerf shark out here this shallow. Probably only seen about 3 in St. Mark's history. There it is, right there. I was gonna try to go up and, you know, touch its tail, but when 2 of us swam up to it, it sort of spooked off. But that's the last fish of the day. And there I am bleeding it. Their heart is right up under there. So, but anyways, like, comment, subscribe. I'll try to get some better footage out if I can. And God bless. Catch you next one.